Yes, that's right.
Looks like Laurent Ramdani is trying to join us.
Oh,
Woburn.
Lauren
Woburn.
Ramdani.
Woburn.
Woburn.
Church?
Who did you say? We didn't hear who you said.
Just about the church at Woburn. It was.
All right, they are there.
At Woburn.
Anybody in particular, Jill?
Mm-hmm.
It was growing. Well, the DeRiggs, Glenda,
Yeah.
Leonard.
Yes, he is.
Yes, Leonard was invited, but I'm not seeing him come on.
The Moores, Terence Moore, Terry Moore.
Yes, Terry's there.
Good.
He used to work at the sugar factory.
Yes,
That's right, yes.
Mrs. Smith is there. Mr. Smith died. Winston Smith died, and Mrs. Smith
Okay.
is there.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh,
Mrs. Smith. I didn't know there was a Mrs. Smith.
She lived in the States.
How?
Yeah, she was
What
here.
is that small congregation in St. James? What is it now?
Very, very small.
What is it like?
Almost. I think the last couple of weeks, I think they had just about 4 or 5 members. They have a little more, maybe close to around 10, but it's very small.
Well,
That's smallest of all the congregations. I think the last time I went, it was just about 4 persons.
Is Constance still alive? Constance Buckmeyer?
Yeah, she is.
Yep.
She is, but not active.
Okay.
She has not been to church for some weeks now.
Okay. Okay.
And
And you were
Bogle, how
saying-
about Bogle? I was going to ask for Bogles. How's Carriacou?
Oh yeah, they're still going. They are doing fairly. We have seen some activity there in the past maybe 6 months or so.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
One year I was in Grenada alone, and I had to do 3 services on a Sunday sometimes.
Yeah.
On this particular Sunday, I had to do a 5 o'clock service up in St. James.
Communion.
And I was visibly tired by the time I got there. And I announced a hymn, which, as it turned out, was not well known. So I literally had to sing it by myself. Halfway through one verse, I yawned, and the congregation went, "Oh."
Right. It was a thing. But there was
It's
one.
just
Said at the
James and
beginning that you were tired.
Theodore Buckmeyer.
What about Theodore Buckmeyer? He was the only person in the congregation. He was about 14,
The only young person.
young, and he would read every week. Of course, when Franklin gave out somebody to read the gospel or the lesson, he is the one who would read it. Made
That's in,
mistakes, but he's the one.
that's in St. James.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe he's not that guy. I don't know him.
That would have been
That's
Miss Buckmeyer's
Constance's son. Constance's
Oh, okay.
son.
son.
Oh, son.
Oh, he's there. I
Constance's
don't.
son.
No, I haven't met him.
No,
He will be about Michael, and he will be about.
he
He'll
was
be
older
about
than them.
40.
In his 40s.
In his 40s.
Okay, so I have to look for him then.
Yes.
Could be overseas,
Alright,
for all we know.
Yeah.
But tell him,
So I believe-
Reverend Manners, remember him reading in church every Sunday.
Okay, I
when he
will.
come back. You've been long ago, 40, how many years you in ministry?
What
Tell
about
Lauren to
Guav?
unmute her mic.
He's older than Michael.
Oh,
What
Lauren
about
is on,
Guav?
but her mic is on mute. She doesn't have. She have not signed in
Lauren?
with camera either.
okay. Let me send her a message. Let me send her a message quickly.
Who's that?
Is there anything at Guav, Silbert?
Wow.
Yeah, Guav, yes, is still there. And what do you remember from there, Rebecca?
Well, I think Mr. Dolland has died. Mr.
Oh,
Dolland
yeah.
was Guav.
No, he's still alive.
No, he's still alive. He's still alive.
But he's in a home. He's in a home
in a home.
at Guav.
Yeah.
Oh, give him my love if you see him. Mr.
I will,
Dolland
right,
has
yeah.
died.
He's in a home for the elderly.
I didn't hear that.
You are active at church?
He's very active.
Are
Um,
you sure you
yes.
Brian, you went to the States
New York,
when I
yes.
that's right, when I came.
Yes,
I think a couple of
yes.
years after you went to university.
I met you again when it was my grandmother's funeral, I believe. I came back and I saw it. Yeah.
Is your dad still around then? Or is your dad still in Grenada?
Yeah, he's still here. Still here.
Did you
And,
know his dad, Franklin? Did you know
Mm.
Brian's dad?
Mr. Ed, we didn't know any Mrs. Ed.
How do you think so?
No, he was the head teacher at Wesley College.
In our time.
With that,
Who was that?
I
What's
think
it?
Benny was away then, you know. Benny was
Yeah,
away
he would have
studying
been
when
away.
Reverend Manners was here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was away studying. He was in the US.
Oh, you all go
Or
back.
Being recorded.
Hi. Reverend Becky, you were asking about Donald?
Yeah, she started preaching when I was there.
Yeah, I think she's not as because I think since I'm here, I think she comes occasionally, but I think she's been married into a family outside of the Methodist Church, and I think she has I think she kind of makes a commitment between both, but she's not preaching at present.
Okay. Well, if you see her, give her our love as well.
I will do that.
Is Lydia still alive, her mother?
Yes,
Yes.
she's quite active.
Yes.
Very active. And Lisa, her
Lisa.
daughter is also. Lisa, the eldest daughter?
Lisa was always active, quite active.
Yes, she still is.
And in the little, there was the church, the small church plant from
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Oh,
That was built in our time. That was built in our
oh, actually, that's
Yes.
where the church is meeting at present, because during the hurricane, I think it would have been destroyed, the building, the old Constantine building.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean the New Hampshire, because I always called that Constantine.
Oh, Boca.
I meant, yeah, Boca.
Boca.
Boca,
Yes.
oh,
Boca.
Who was Boca?
Is that still going?
yes, well, not, I think they were meeting up to maybe 3 years ago, but I think recently the school that they used to meet at had undergone some changes, so the location for meeting was not, they didn't have the location to meet.
Okay.
But it's something that we are exploring, trying to get them to start again. So we are exploring, asking the government to give us access to the secondary school.
But they still have a strong Bible study group.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bible
that's
study
good.
group is still.
Good. Good.
And then it had the teacher there, the Guyanese lady. What's her name? Uncle got married to him. Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips, what?
Mrs. Phillips' sister. Mrs. Phillips' brother.
Mr. Phillips' brother?
Nichols.
Nichols.
Yeah.
Is she
Norris.
still
Norris
there?
Nichols.
And wait,
She's at
Ah.
Woburn. She's at Woburn.
Norris.
At Woburn?
Well, she's at Woburn.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
I
at
see.
home.
She's moved from there to Woburn. Mhm.
Waveney. Waveney is her name.
Waveney, yeah. She taught my children. You see one of them. Oh, she moved on there. I see. But there was a gentleman, remember, from Scotiabank. He was the manager. His father was a local preacher.
Roy.
Yeah.
Roy
O'Neill.
O'Neill.
He's still a
Yes.
congregational steward. He's a congregational steward at St. George's.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Roy O'Neill.
And Deandra is still with you? Is St. George's?
Yes, she is.
Yes.
And
Yes,
Kent,
she is.
and Kent and preaching and Kenson?
Yes.
Both are.
Is Kenson a local preacher?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah. You still have some exams to complete, though.
Okay. Well, that's good. And is Kenson the head teacher at
Yes, at
Sam's?
St. Andrew. Yes, he is.
Ah, that's great. I was good. We were good friends. That's really
Yeah,
good.
okay. I will tell him, give him your greetings.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, give them both my greetings.
Their son will be a year old tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
What would they?
Their son.
My son will be 1 year old tomorrow. Kenson's son, Kenson and Deandra's son.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
very good. Very good.
I think Deandra is in touch with our son, Tim.
Okay.
Yes.
Is in touch with
Yes. Timothy.
What was that?
I think Deandra
Ross.
Ross is in touch with Tim, our Tim. Tim
Okay,
Baker.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Tim works for All We Can, which is our relief and development charity. So I don't think there are any projects in Grenada yet.
Okay, well,
We need
there's
some.
an opening.
We need some.
There is a project.
Lauren can hear us. Lauren, can you hear us, Lauren?
Yes, we're hearing you. You're not hearing us?
He was asking about Lauren.
Lauren says that she's very sorry. She is hearing everybody, she's seeing everybody, but her video will not come on.
Oh.
So she rang off. Is she still on?
Yeah.
Oh, her name's still there.
And a microphone showing on my participants.
Hi, Lauren. Hi.
So she can't answer, and she was getting a little frustrated with it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah.
Because
So
I actually did the funeral for Gladys when we came back on holiday.
Yeah.
So we just happened to be in Grenada when Gladys died, and I did her funeral without any clerical clothes or anything like that, did I? Damon did it. Just had a shirt jacket or something. Yes.
What about Maureen Coffey?
Relief, Andrew, no.
Maureen Coffey?
19.
Maureen is still around, very much so.
Good.
Yes, Maureen is one of his cooks, Baker. He has many cooks.
Very good.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
Maureen is very challenged. She and Claudia with this Zoom thing, and I tried my best on Tuesday to teach them how to get on. But if you send him the link, Maureen complains that her phone is too slow, so this is new to them. And Claudia said to me last night, hers is overheating. So and I know this kind of thing would mean a lot to them, but what can we say?
We do. No.
Give us
we can provide them with the recording, actually. That would work.
Well, yes, we Baker is a host, so he has recorded. Or did I?
You were me.
There's a recording going on, so they'll see it. They'll see it. The St. George's members will see it. I hope they recognize Andy, because I give Franklin credit for recognizing Andy from a play and not meeting him.
See what coming back to England has done to me. Well, I lost all my youthful looks.
I
That's a new look, Andy.
I just have a question to the general audience. I just have a question. Due to my age, of course, I've heard a lot about Reverend Manners from other persons. But I just want some history on, if Reverend Manners could give me the history of his tenure in Grenada. Just a brief history, if that would be okay.
You want to know when he was here?
Yes. A bit about the story of Franklin's time in Grenada. How there was revival in the Spice Isle.
Oh, sorry?
We didn't hear that. We didn't hear that.
You hear now? Hello?
Franklin, can you hear me? No.
I can hear you now.
Internet connection.
Okay. Brian was asking if you might tell us something about your time when you were the superintendent in Grenada, and tell us about the revival in the Spice Isle.
Well, remember the day Mrs. Charles went down?
We were not aware at the time that it was a revival. We heard afterwards that some persons thought it was. But what stands out is one Tuesday afternoon, there was some youth activity at the church, and Shirley Charles was driving past, and she said she had to stop and come down to see what was happening in her church because it looked so unusual. It was just a youth meeting. So, but as I said, it was after we left that we heard that as far as the people there were concerned, something of a revival took place.
Do you remember, Karen, on Sunday mornings, I would make some Johnny cakes, and we will have after church, we tell people, because it was the first Methodist church we had been to where people disappear immediately after church. And I found that was not Methodism. In the other Caribbean islands we have worked, everybody's gone, but nobody, you know, to shut up the churches was a chat and chat. And I said, how would it disappear? So we started, and people would bring, who would bring some cheese, some whatever after church. But you all ate it and disappeared.
This is
Just another highlight. One Christmas, we thought of bringing all the young people together for a get-together in St. George's. And as we discovered, some of the folks from the countryside were coming out at night for the first time. Needless to say, when the activity was finished and they got back into their transport to get back home, or so we thought.
One bus, one big bus, one bus.
We were in bed when we heard a lot of talking under the street light on the top of Market Hill. The phone rang, and it was someone from Woburn asking Reverend Manners, where is my child? I said, well, they left here an hour ago. They should be home by now. Then I thought of looking through the window, and sure enough, a group of them was still there. They said after the function, they went to something up at Presentation College. So at that point, we had to find, well, of course, by this time, there's no transport to get to the country. So we had to get out of bed to try to get them home. It was a small Volkswagen Passat.
And
once we opened the door, about 10 people flocked in. And immediately we got a flat tire. By this time, Mr. Fletcher next door heard the commotion and came out to find out what was happening.
This is about 2 in the morning or 3.
And then he volunteered to help us get the children home. His first question was, well, he wanted to know where did they live. I said, well, this group has to go to Woburn. His next question was, Reverend Manners, where is Woburn? Which way is Woburn?
I always remember that.
And then he added, but Rev, I don't ever go beyond Greenbridge.
It was children like Mr. What's his name again?
Finsley St. Louis.
Finsley St. Louis sons and things, children that age group who were at the party.
Wow, that's Brian, that is history.
I suppose that was the last time you organized such an event then.
That's why I asked the question.
Yes, we had, it was three good years. And Miss next to the school, Sunshine, what was the name of the school?
Sunnyside.
Oh, there's somebody joining.
Miss Bayer. I would go and sit by Miss Bayer sometimes. Andrew, you met Miss Bayer?
Miss Bayer? Yes, I did. I did her funeral actually. Eileen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been Eileen Bayer.
So does that mean that the man's was on that street there in the corner?
Top of Market Hill.
Catholic Church?
But my story
is that looking good, man?
Is with your mommy's best friend. Come on. Karen, your mommy's best friend. Her husband was a lawyer. She had a little shop, a store.
Oh, Baby Scipio? I would say the best
Baby Scipio. Well, that was my best story. I drove, and when I reached to the top of the hill to change the gear, the policeman is in the box. I hated when he stopped me because I had to change gears.
And the handbrake wasn't working.
And those cars, nothing worked. So one day I'm coming up, and the policeman in the box stopped me. I think I pretended I didn't see him and continued because I really wasn't ready to change gears. When next thing I saw, he was stopping me. So as I turned, He stopped me and I stopped. He came out of the box to find me and he took my name, etc. And he told me, he stopped me and I did not stop. I did not argue with him. I said to myself, give him the name, leave him so. I was surprised. 1 week after, Gail said to me, Gail was the secretary. Gail said to me, Mrs. Manners, a police is here to you, a policeman. And so I'm going out, brave as ever. And the policeman, when I said, hey, how are you? He said, oh, no, no speaking. And he just served me with a warrant saying that whatever, and I had to go to court. Girl, I froze. I said, go to court? And they read out the thing, and I couldn't believe it. And I went right across. Remember when Mr. Scipio's office was downstairs, Mrs.
Yes,
Strand?
yes, yes.
I went straight across to Mr. Scipio's office. I was teaching at that time by Mrs.
Sunnyside.
No,
that was not Miss Roberts, Sunnyside, Pammy.
I don't think
no,
so.
I taught with Miss her brother-in-law is Trinidadian comedian.
Kings Douglas.
Oh, Kings Douglas. Yeah. Kings Douglas. Yes.
Yes. Katie's.
So I was teaching there at the time, but I went across right away to Sir Scipio. And Sir Scipio said in his cool way, what, Mrs. Manners, I am just honored that you are here. What has brought you to my office? He said, but you look as white as snow. And I could not speak because I was shocked. I think Franklin didn't even get home yet. And I told Mr. Scipio, I showed him that I have to go to court. This thing just went straight to court, you know. They didn't even tell me to pay something, you know, straight to court. I'm going to court with this thing. And Mr. Scipio said, oh, you just sit down and relax. I said, Mr. Scipio, I can't sit and relax. I am going to court. I have never been to court. I'm going to court. He said, sit down. And after he chatted to me so cool and calm with his tall self, I went home still bothered. But he said, I will look into it. You have nothing. Don't worry your head. You'll be okay. Came home and waiting for Franklin. No cell phones those days to call anybody. When Franklin reached home, give him the story. And I'm there panicking. I think I was supposed to go to court in about 2 weeks after that. And Mr. Scipio is not calling me. Eventually, he came across one day and he said to me, Mrs. Manners, so court is, say, whatever day. You just have to come to court. You don't have to say one thing, but you have to come to court. I said, I don't have to say anything. He says no. And young and stupid as I was, that day I decided to go to school in a lovely red skirt I had and a striped red and white blouse. I always remember. And I went to court. And as I reached there, it was just walk up the road. As I reached there, I heard, after a while, I heard my name calling, whatever, what they will see, against Hyacinth Manners, Hyacinth Manners. I could still hear it in my head and I'm going crazy. Hear me, what have I got myself into? And when I got in, there was Sir Scipio. And when the case started, the first thing the judge said, I don't know who was the judge. I think I was just so blank then. First thing I heard the judge say, they didn't see me, I was oblivious. But the judge said, and Sir Scipio, what on earth has happened that you have honored me to be present in my court? And the conversation went on with both of them about being honored to be in the court and whatever. And I am there. I sure I was wet all to underclothes because I'm just so afraid. And of course, I had nothing to say. And Sir Scipio took the case. And Sir Scipio went right back and he told them that that law was written since for the time of horse and carriage. And how come they could charge me now when we are driving motor vehicles? And it made the newspaper. I don't know if you all remember that. It made the newspaper and so forth. But I had to say nothing. All that Mr. Scipio said, well, the case was true now. They couldn't charge me. Mr. Scipio said, she is new to the territory. Instead of you all welcoming her and the police, you know, pulling her aside, and telling her nicely what she should do. You charged her and brought her to court, so it was an embarrassment for them. And the case was thrown out. All Mississippi, when I went to Mississippi the next day to say thanks, all Mississippi said is, but Mrs. Manners, you came to court in a red outfit? I said, was that? Because in those days, they would go to court in a dark color.
Interesting.
Let me apologize to Reverend Prescott. He had to leave because he had another Zoom meeting to attend, and he didn't want to disturb this celebration. He sent his apologies.
What about Cornwall? Where's Cornwall?
I don't know.
He's now a local presbyter. No, sorry, a pastor.
What's one of those?
Yeah, himself and Leonard. They were both commissioned pastors in November last year.
Okay.
What church?
I think, Karen, you had told us that. You sent me that.
What church?
Karen
I
made
sent you
me
some
aware.
photographs. It was February this year.
Leon is Bethel, and Leonard is Constantine.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
But we need to work on these.
Rachel has joined us, but she hasn't said anything.
Hello, Rachel. Hello.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
Take off your audio, Ray.
You're on mute.
The mic. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry to be late.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Reverend Baker and Sister Jill.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Reverend Manners and Sister Hyson. How are you doing?
Good.
We're doing fine. We're doing fine.
Ryan, I heard
And
you
you?
ask a question about Reverend Manners. I'm going to tell you a story about Reverend Manners. Reverend Manners was in the Grenada around the time when I was in and out of church, not regularly attending. And I remember one of those Sundays when I walked into church. Reverend Manners, remember that sermon? As I sat down with mommy, he started, in the church, there are pillars and caterpillars. Caterpillar, and I'm a caterpillar. I'm going to tell you guys, I can't remember the rest. I always remember that. Because Reverend Manners was looking at me and he said, in our church, there are pillars and caterpillars. Reverend Manners, you remember that sermon?
Very much so. Very much so.
Oh, my.
So Pammy, you see, you have company.
Yes, I did not. I now realize that I had company.
Maybe they're all pillars now, aren't they? You all have all grown to pillars now, haven't you?
I don't know where I am yet. I'm somewhere.
Somewhere.
I have matured. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Rachel, you sold us our very first computer. You sold us our very first computer.
I did?
We got on the internet because of you. You were the first person.
I didn't even remember that. Wow, but I remember doing the computer stuff, yes. And Reverend Baker with his singing of And Can It Be, when he'll have half the church sing and the other half, and then he'd go down quiet. You remember
Right,
that
and
section?
then bold.
Half the whole congregation, then you sing it all loud and clear.
I still
And
do
Can
it.
It Be, Reverend Baker, you made me understand it. I remember that very well.
Hello, Arlene.
Hello, Trevor.
It's Trevor.
That's Trevor.
Trevor. Hello,
Andy.
Trevor.
I'm not seeing, we're not seeing the face. We're not seeing it properly.
Is it?
Now
Okay.
we're seeing you, Trevor. Hello.
Mrs. Coffee is listening in, so.
Oh, coffee.
Miss Coffee. Wait, Miss Coffee,
Where is she?
come, let me see you there.
No, she's listening in on the phone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Hi,
They're
Miss
talking to her
Coffee.
answer and never hear you answer.
Yes. Hi, Miss Coffee. How is it? Good afternoon.
Hello,
She said,
Maureen.
"How are
It's
you?"
Andrew here.
We are doing well, thank you.
Good to hear your voice.
You remember all those days we go down for the prayer meeting?
Yes, my dear. You have been with us all from one end to the next, teaching us the flowers.
Yes.
Teaching us to make flowers arrangement for the church.
She said you taught them to make floral arrangements for the church.
Yes,
okay.
yes, yeah. You remember, Karen, when I came?
Yes,
when
the
I said that
ladies
the church needed a new look, and we changed the carpet and everything.
I don't remember that bit, but I remember the flowers. You spoke about the carpet, but I don't remember that. And the cushions on the seats. I remember the cushions on the seats.
Everything. I said since Franklin ordained it, I came and we came back, found the same thing. And everybody put in, and I went down. There was a lady who had a store. I think she was a Cromwell.
Mrs. Cromwell.
Mrs. Cromwell. No. She had a store.
Yes, Mrs. Cromwell and there's Mrs. Strawn, so.
Yes,
it was probably Mrs. Strawn who had the store.
Mrs. Strawn.
No, there was
No, Mariah Scott
had a store.
Mariah Scott. Mariah Scott. Andrew, you know those people? Mrs. Cromwell, Andrew, Mrs. Cromwell was here when you were here.
Constance.
Yes,
Cromwell.
yes, Constance. Yes.
Constance. She had Parkinson's, I think, in the end.
Yes. Yeah. I remember she gave me material so that they can do the drapes. And Coffee and I was backward and forward, and material to do the kneelers and all that. Oh yes, we were backward and forward with that.
So Trevor, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Andrew.
That was Franklin.
Not Andrew, Franklin that spoke to you.
Franklin Manners?
Yes.
All right, Franklin
Good.
and Ashton.
Good to see and hear you. Give our regards to Arlene, please.
She's hearing you.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
Arlene.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing fine, doing fine.
Hello, Arlene. Lovely to see you.
We're remembering the other day Mrs. Delves.
Oh, Mom,
Mary.
yes.
Yeah, faithful.
Very faithful Methodist.
Very faithful. Very faithful.
Lacrette, you gave me so much trouble during those 4 years. You gave me so much trouble.
That's why you survived today.
We had some good times, didn't we, boy? We had some good times.
True.
Well,
How
there's
are
going
you,
to be a
Trevor?
Thanksgiving service on Sunday afternoon, which will be broadcasted on our new YouTube channel.
Something for Sunday?
Say that again, Rosie?
So is there going to be something special for Sunday?
Yes, so you will get that notification in due course.
I'm going to say good night now. I have an early meeting tomorrow, but it's lovely to see you all.
Yes, I think it's time we close.
Okay,
Thank you
good to
very
see
much,
you, Jill.
Jill. Thank you.
Yes, because it's late.
Andrew,
Jill, God bless.
That's why I'm about to thank everybody for participating, and I'm happy that Jill was able to join us also. Trevor, you came in late, but you were asked for, and I think both Andrew and Franklin are happy to see you. But there's somebody else here waving to you, and you haven't said hello to them, Trevor.
Andrew?
No?
Andy?
Yeah. We said hello.
Well, this was quite interesting. Thanks very much, Karen. Good to see all of you.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you all.
God bless.
God bless, Franklin Hyacinth. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Every
so,
blessing
who
for your
will say- and
celebrations.
Who will say the grace before we go?
I
The
vote
blessing.
Andrew.
May the living God bless us from the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet, in our going and our coming. And the blessing of God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, rest upon us, remain with us this night as we travel on and as the kingdom comes. To God be the glory. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Amen.
God
Thanks
bless
again.
to
This was
everybody.
great.
Have a
Okay.
good night.